They slip down. That's the problem.
The old step up.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother. That doesn't wash in the real world of
It
sports.
does. It washes in real life.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, you only get so many days to do it.
Trust me on this.
No. You know, maybe you don't.
Injuries are a very real thing.
Yeah, but you don't roll over. They're in second place.
I don't understand this ridiculous language that you're using. Roll over.
Yeah, what do you want me to say?
How about
tell me, Mr. Writer, what am I supposed to use? Give me some words.
How about maybe the Nationals are a better team?
That's great.
So better teams beat lesser teams.
But I'm saying there are times you have to step up.
And what does that mean? It's a meaningless statement.
It means when it's either you step up to the plate or you walk away. That's what it is.
Yeah, they stepped up to the plate, and then they made an out, and then they went back to the dugout.
Right,
so there you go. They stepped up to the plate.
Right, and they lost.
I don't understand your point.
I'm just saying. You're thinking that what do you want me to say? What do you want to say? That they didn't try hard enough?
No, they try. I'm sure they tried as hard as they could. That's what they're paid to do. That's their job.
I don't know.
But better teams will win games. That's how it goes. That's why the Nationals are in first place by 6 games.
I know, but they should have won yesterday. It would have been
Why?
Because.
What are you basing that opinion on? That's what's aggravating me here. They should have won. Jose Reyes hit 2 solo home runs. That was the Mets' entire offense.
Right.
But you're saying they should have won.
No, because if they see Jose Reyes go, and the other guy say, well, maybe I should try as hard as Jose.
Oh, my God.
No, Timmy.
I mean, seriously? No, it's a ridiculous argument.
No, it is not.
It's ridiculous.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
Just because you keep saying it's not, it doesn't mean it's true.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
That's the way I work. You know that.
So, hey, welcome to the sports fantasy show that we're on today.
Fantasy show?
Yes, it is. We're on the Rob Leonard fantasy show.
You know, when you
where if the Mets try hard enough, they'll win 162 games.
No, I'm not saying 162 games. I'm saying against the Nationals, though, they should have won. They know they're in second place. They want to make the playoffs.
And the Yankees know they're in 4th place, and they know they're a 500 team.
The Yankees aren't going
anywhere. And they should try real hard.
The Yankees weren't playing the first place team. Well, they were
playing the first place team in the Central Division.
Oh, Central Division, not through their division they're in.
You got to win games.
Yeah.
So what difference does it make? When you beat the team you're playing against.
It helps more when you play the team in your own division who's ahead of you. That if they had taken all 3 games, they'd be like, 2 games out. There are more important games. If they're playing the Chicago White Sox, it's a little different. But when
they're allowed to lose those games.
Not saying they're allowed to lose, but when you play the team in front of you, you should play better.
And sometimes that doesn't work.
Well, I'm just saying.
When you're playing against a pitcher like Steven Strasburg.
I know, he's a great pitcher.
He's undefeated.
Okay.
He's 12-0.
Yeah, so?
So should the Mets have won that game?
No, they lost that one big, but they should have won yesterday.
Should the Mets have beaten Max Scherzer?
Maybe.
Who is one of the top 5 pitchers in baseball, I would say?
Maybe they should have.
Struck out 20 in a game earlier this season, entire Major League record.
Very cool.
Pretty good pitcher.
Yeah, well.
I don't understand where this is coming from. Do you want them to win? Yeah, of course you do. Do you hope that they will win?
They're more important.
Yes.
During the season, there are more, unless towards the end of the season where if you have to win like 5 in a row or something. But if you're playing your internal rival in your division, which the Nationals are, and they're ahead of the Mets, you got to play a little better. That's what I'm saying.
But my point that I'm making, and I don't understand why you can't grasp it, is that the Nationals, to this point in the season, believe it or not, have superior pitching to the Mets.
I know.
All right? So, superior pitching and a far better lineup, not even a kind of a better lineup, a far better lineup than what the Mets are running out on the field these days.
Sure.
The Mets in the last 2 days didn't have Yoenis Cespedes. They don't have Lucas Duda, and they haven't for a while. They haven't had David Wright for a while.
Well, they're not going to.
But that's my point.
I know what you're saying.
Curtis Granderson is at best a .250 hitter. So Travis d'Arnaud just came back from an injury. Where is all this great offense coming from that you seem to think that the Mets should be scoring 7 runs a game against a good pitching staff?
7. I would like to get 4.
Yesterday you would have liked to have gotten 4.
I would like to have gotten 4 yesterday because they lost 3-2. So it would be nice. If you're in competition with someone and you see they're playing a little better, you say to yourself, well, I got to play a little better. That's right. No, that's the way it is.
No, it's not,
Yes,
not the way it is. All right.
No, hold on.
Go ahead. Give me an example. Give me a great example. I can't wait to hear this.
You're a sports writer. Let's say a colleague of yours who you don't like wins an award. Does that make you want to write better? Or do you say, well, the guy shouldn't have gotten it anyway, and screw him or her?
Well, since awards in writing are subjective for the most part anyway.
I'm just saying. But wouldn't that make you more competitive? Wouldn't you knowing that you're up against other people, especially someone you don't want?
But that's something that a writer has control over.
Not really.
Yes, really.
No.
Yes. You work to get better sources, if that's, or you work to become a more creative writer.
You step up.
It's not a matter of stepping up.
You hate that phrase, that's why.
It's a dumb phrase,
It might be, but I like it. It's a good phrase.
It's a dumb phrase.
You step up to the plate. You step up the next step on the staircase.
But my point is that you refuse to acknowledge, which is making this conversation almost pointless, is that better teams will win more games.
Of course. I'm not saying they don't, but there are times when a better team doesn't win the game, and you know that.
It is possible, and the Mets did win one game.
The Golden State Warriors, they lost in 7 games.
Yes, they did.
Right. And what happened?
What happened?
They were the better team.
It's debatable.
Well, they had more
in
wins.
That series. In the course of the regular season, yes, they had more wins.
You see, then based on what you said, that the Warriors should have automatically won.
That's why I'm not a fan of the whole playoff system in general.
I'm just saying.
But part of the reasons why the Cavaliers wound up being the better team in those playoffs is because the Warriors had injuries.
Right.
Steph Curry wasn't playing at 100%.
But also LeBron stepped up, and so it does. You hate the term.
I hate when you take a ridiculous point. When you love to do this in all aspects of your life, is you love to take a ridiculous point and hammer it and hammer it and hammer it, and just try to prove that you're right by pulling out any ridiculous theory you can find.
If we were out eating right now, I would have changed the subject right now. But we're on the air.
So why don't we do that on the show?
Why should we? It's entertainment. So anyway, brother. Anyway, I thought the Mets should have won at least 2 of them.
No, you wanted them to win.
No, they should have.
Oh my God.
They won the first game, right?
Why don't my words penetrate?
Because.
Can you maybe turn up your headphones so you're not hearing me properly?
I hear you properly.
I don't think you do.
I hear you all the time.
Why are you so unwilling to give the Nationals any credit for being a better team?
I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying the Mets, they won the first game. They should have won the third game. The second game was a blowout. So they should have won a third game. 3-2 they should have beat.
Well, no, 3-2 the Nationals should have won. They got an outstanding pitching performance. Gio Gonzalez went 5 2/3 or whatever in their bullpen, shut the Mets down. Okay. So how is that bad for the Nationals?
I'm just saying.
The Nationals got 3 runs. The Mets got 2. That's a good, solid winning ball game. Mets didn't screw up. It wasn't like the Mets gave the game away. They just got outplayed.
Well, Jose Reyes hit 2 solo homers.
Well, that's because nobody on the Mets can get on base.
Well,
all they do is hit home runs, which is nice. There's nothing wrong with home runs. They're a great part of the game. But if you hit a bunch of solo home runs, and by a bunch I'll say 3, you're probably not going to win.
Yeah, okay.
And as we found out yesterday, if you hit 2, you're definitely not going to win.
Okay, the All-Star Game's coming up for the Mets now. Normally at this time of the year...
coming up for everybody.
I know, but I'm focusing at the Mets right now. Normally at this time of the year, the Mets would start sliding downward. Well, not last year, but
they have.
But the previous years, the downward slope would begin for the Mets. I don't think that's going to happen this year.
Downward dog.
Oh, downward dog. Oh, now we're changing words around. No,
I'm using a yoga term.
Oh, yoga.
I'm branching out today.
Yeah. You don't even do yoga.
Stop that. I'm getting into the DDP thing.
Oh, yeah. Tim Leonard doing yoga. Yeah. He's not even close. Anyway,
by the way, how about my cool shirt today, by the way?
I don't care about it. It's a San Antonio
Cousin Kawhi shirt. See? Look.
I see. It's Leonard in the back.
See that?
Number 2.
Show that off on the YouTube channel that we're going to have it on later.
Yeah, okay.
My man John Trigg from San Antonio brought this for me.
Very, very nice.
Shout out to John Trigg.
I thought it was Tottenham Spurs first. But I saw the number 2.
No. You can also say, come on, you Spurs, for this, too. It's an all-encompassing change. Go ahead.
Thank you. Anyway, so what do the Mets have to look forward to in the second half? What has to change for them besides
It would be
getting
nice.
hits?
It would be nice if they got Zach Wheeler back, and he was an effective pitcher, because right now the Mets have a very large gaping hole in their, I have to say, their number 4 starter spot, because Bartolo Colon is their number 5 starter, although their 5 starter just was named to the All-Star team. So
Thank you. I mean, thank you, Terry Collins.
the big man going to the All-Star game
As
at
well as
40.
that.
What is he? 43? I don't even know how old. He's old.
42 or 43.
He's old. He's an old guy. He's almost as old as us. But Wheeler's his return from Tommy John surgery has been pushed back a couple times. He's had a couple of issues with his rehab and some more arm issues, which a lot of pitchers go through. But by the time he does come back, the Mets really do need him to pitch effectively, and he really hasn't shown in his career. He had a little brief amount of success, but he really hasn't shown himself or proven himself to be, of the DeGrom, Syndergaard, Harvey caliber. I mean, he's supposed to be a good pitcher. He just hasn't been able to do it enough to say, yes, I am a good pitcher. So
I personally think Bartolo Colon is going to be the best decision the Mets made out of all the signings last year. I think he is going to be the best signing.
Well, I'll tell you what.
The second half his pitching is going to.
Cabrera has been a good signing for them. He's played very well. The Neil Walker trade, I like. I think it's done the Mets well as well. And John Neese has been terrible for the Pirates. They're to the point where they're looking to just unload him right now because his salary is a joke. He's making $9 million, and he's terrible. And plus, the Pirates have at least 3 starters in the minor leagues who are so major league ready right now that John Neese should be just given away, because it would do the Pirates. It'd be addition by subtraction.
Pittsburgh is maybe having some good years coming up.
Well, they have a lot of young players, but right now they're not doing so well. They're kind of they're kind of back in contention for the wild card, but mostly because the Cubs have been so bad in the last few weeks. I mean, the Cubs in the last 3 weeks are 5-15.
Cubs fans are ready to jump off.
They were ready to carnate the team. In fact, we talked about a couple weeks ago. I think it was 3 weeks ago, where I remember saying that they were playing 700 ball, and they were pushing the 98 Yankees. That team won 125 games, including the playoffs. So this team was ready to win 108. They were on that kind of a pace, 108, 110 games. And now they're coming back down to earth in a hurry. They had like a 15-game lead in the division, and now it's down to about 7.
Yeah.
So, the Cardinals are in trouble. Their pitching hasn't been very good. They just lost Matt Carpenter probably for a good month. He's got a grade 2 oblique strain, which is the more severe. And with obliques, it's like you can't rush that back, because that's the torque when a batter swings.
Right.
That's the whole thing. And if that's bad, it's just going to keep getting worse. So they have to make sure he's 100% before he comes back, and that's probably going to be a month. And Carpenter has been the best Cardinals player, the most consistent guy by far. They've been running guys up and down the minor leagues this season. Colton Wong went down, Steven Piscotty went down, and they're both back up now. So it's been a very uneven season for a lot of guys on that team. But Matt Carpenter has been the one guy who's been very consistent. And to not have him in the lineup every day for a good month, like I said, that's going to be a major problem for them. We'll see with the Pirates. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pirates, if they fall out of contention, if they trade Andrew McCutchen, because they have a guy in the minor leagues named Austin Meadows, who, again, is ready for the major leagues. They have Starling Marte in left field, Gregory Polanco in right, who are both in their early 20s, and both of them are stars at this point.
Right.
Polanco's really having a breakout year this year. But Austin Meadows was a top 10 draft pick a few years ago, and he's another guy. So that division will improve.
One more thing, getting back to the Mets before we take a break.
Go ahead.
Matt Harvey, this past week, out.
Yes, done. I mean, he's thoracic outlet syndrome.
What's that?
It's I don't even want to call it. It's not a disease. It's a condition where the muscles and the structure in your shoulder compress on the nerves and the blood vessels,
right.
and it leads to numbness in the fingers.
Ooh. Okay.
So I'm still not sure why this is a cure, but the solution is to have surgery, and he's going to have one of his ribs removed. Because apparently that opens up space along, around underneath the shoulder area, and I'm not sure how it does it or why it does it, but he's out for the season.
Oh, yeah.
So, you won't see Matt Harvey again until 2017. When he comes back, he should be fine, because other pitchers have had the surgery. The former Met Chris Young, the big 6'10" guy, he had it.
Well,
Chris Carpenter from the Cardinals had it, and they've all come back.
What gets me about him is that this was supposed to be his return season, which I don't think was a great season for him.
No, it's been a bad season for him.
But next year is his last year in the contract, and of course, isn't it?
I thought it was next year. I thought it was 2018. I thought it was.
Was it last year?
Let's double check that.
I thought it was.
We'll double check that on Todd's contract.
So anyway, he is looking obviously for a big paycheck, and I'm not sure if people are going to give it to him with.
He would still get a big contract based on promise. He wouldn't get as big a contract like Strasburg. If Strasburg was coming up for a contract, he just signed an extension with the Nationals earlier this season. But like right now, I don't think Harvey would get the $25 million a year that he would want, and that some would think that he would be deserving of. But if you look at his career record at this point, and the fact that this season has pretty much been a disaster for him, he really hasn't pitched well.
No.
His velocity's been down, but a lot of it can be attributed to this condition that he has that is going to be corrected.
How long did he know that, obviously his numbness is something you would know right away as a person.
It's a matter of, did he tell anybody on the team? Did he talk to the trainers? Did he talk to coaches? Or did he try to just kind of battle his way through it? And then it will progress and it'll get worse. And did he finally just say, you know what, I couldn't feel the ball in my hand today and we have to do something because something's obviously wrong. And pitchers will try and battle through it. I mean, you remember many years ago, David Cohn was pitching through an aneurysm, and they finally had to take. He completely lost the feeling in his fingers, and he's like, I don't even know where the ball is going because I can't feel it. So they finally got him into an MRI machine, and that was when they said, all right, Cohn, you got an aneurysm, we got to do surgery on you, and he was out for a while, several months after they did that. So, I mean, I expect Harvey to be better and back to 100%, but it's going to take time to recover and to get everything back and to get his whole shoulder area back to 100%. But the good thing is it's not a structural issue. It's not a ligament, or it's not a surgery that needed to be done in terms of repairing his shoulder, the muscle and the area itself. That's what I'm talking about. It's not like Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, so it'll heal better.
Right. It's not like he has to rebuild the shoulder. It's just a matter of just recovering from surgery and having all the blood flow issues be checked and everything like that.
We're going to take a break right now. You're listening to From the Pressbox right here on 90.3 FM WHPC. If you have a comment or question, give us a call or step up to the plate, 516-572-7444.
You had to throw that in there.
I did, didn't I?
Anime watchers, comic book enthusiasts, lend me your ears. For today,